Welcome back. You're watching live from Paris on France 24. It's time now for Media Watch France, where we find out what the journalists here in the country are saying. And they've been listening to President Sarkozy today, haven't they, James?
They have indeed. It's what they call les vœux annuels, the New Year's wishes. It's a sort of an annual meeting or address that Nicolas Sarkozy makes to the press every year. He does it for a lot of different sections of society. In any case, it was particularly testy this year when he met the press corps. And if we have a look at what the websites and the media are saying about it, they called it a live divorce, in fact, between Sarkozy and the media. Here, they're calling it...
Sarkozy, of course, has already had 2 real-life divorces, hasn't he?
He has indeed, and more than a few with the press, indeed, because it's been a very testy relationship along the last 5 years. He's been accused of being too heavy-handed with the press. Indeed, there's been a court case about wiretapping of Le Monde. So in any case, let's take a look at what this particular interaction... Let's take a look at an example of the interaction during this particular meeting. Lots of images of relationships and couples and, I suppose, divorce coming up. Let's take a listen.
In a relationship, you've got to talk to each other. Catastrophes happen when you don't talk to each other. I see your attempts clearly to replace me, to try out new things, and check out greener pastures, to hope for something different. The grass is always greener, but up to now you've always come back to me.
Goodness me, you can
but
only
you
imagine.
always come back to me, he said at the end. You always come back to me. It's almost like he's talking to a slightly it's almost like he's talking to the press as if it were an unstable woman who wants to wander and cheat on him, but always comes back. I'm not sure if that's exactly how you should be talking to the press when you should be wooing.
A bit unusual,
but this is just a month or two ahead of the election. Shouldn't you be trying to court the press or, whisper sweet nothings? Instead, he's saying, oh, you're like a woman heading off in the night for a bit of activity. Anyway, I shouldn't be saying that.
I bet there was a bit of embarrassment among the journalists there. Sure, some of them, they didn't really know how to react to that.
He's kind of sarcastic and ironic in his tone, so I suppose people were perhaps taking it, they weren't perhaps taking it at face value, but you could say also that the undertone or what it's suggesting in terms of the power play between him and the media is quite revealing of a certain attitude.
They call it on that
Sweet and
blog
sour,
there, don't they?
like the sauce.
Yes. Now, he'll be warming more, though, to journalists at Le Figaro because they've been saying some nice things about him today.
That's right. Now, it's interesting to look at these polls. Sarkozy's strengths against Hollande. Now, if we have a look inside...
Right-wing newspaper, we should point out.
That's right, a right-wing newspaper. Let's take a look. I'll show you some of the details of that. Now, what they're basically saying is on security and immigration, Sarkozy is stronger than Hollande. That's traditionally the case for right-leaning parties. But then have a look at what they've put right down at the bottom. This is, ability to unite the French people. Now, Hollande is actually quite a bit stronger there with 38% over Sarkozy's 18%. What we were kind of saying earlier is it's interesting the choice of order that Le Figaro chose there, putting the things where Sarkozy is considerably stronger up at the top of the list and where Sarkozy is less strong right down at the bottom. It's pretty fair. I think it's fair to say that if Libération had done this sondage, they would have done it in a totally different order. So I suppose these polls aren't always completely honest.
All right. Now, François Hollande, of course, is doing the rounds, trying to build a statesman-like image. He's trying to rise above, any of his past appearances. How's that going?
All right. Well, he was due to appear. He was invited to appear on a Saturday night talk show called Ruquier. Now, I think let's roll some pictures of this talk show. It's a little bit like Graham Norton in the UK or maybe The Daily Show in the US.
Reminds us of him.
That's right. Very kind of, I hope not. So, light-hearted, fun stuff.
Yes.
Now, Obama has gone on The Daily Show in the past. I don't think Cameron has ever gone on Graham Norton. Now, in any case, Hollande has decided not to go on this show because he's trying to put forward a majestic, statesman-like image, and this show's tone isn't appropriate for that. Except, guess what happened today? He's been trying to create this statesman-like image, and let's roll this next series of pictures to show you what happened and how you can't always micromanage your image, right? I think we have this next.
We have to see them.
Let's go to the next set of pictures because
there we go.
There you go. He got flower bombed. You see?
Out of the way, cameraman.
Right. I sort of spoiled the surprise there.
Goodness, we didn't move.
Yeah, that's the guy who is responsible for it, and he was, of course, very quickly arrested.
Pulverised.
Exactly.
Oh dear. That's what happens when you take yourself too seriously.
This is it.
Someone will always come along and throw flour at you.
That's it. You can't always, I suppose, micromanage your image. So we didn't get to show you the small candidates, but let's just say there's a lot of other small candidates in the race who are a little bit strange and they don't really care about their image at all. Do we have time on the computer just to quickly show you one or two of them?
Very, very quickly.
Okay, well, here you have various candidates. One is, I think her name is Cindy, and you can see here she's actually, okay, the computer isn't cooperating.
Okay, we're going to have to leave that there, James. Oh, yep, we saw that.
And you have another dressed as a bee, another dressed as a bee, in favour of biodiversity. See?
On that note, we'll leave it, James Queenan. Many thanks indeed.
Thanks.
Phew. It's time now for web news, and tonight's whip round cyberspace includes reaction in the blogosphere to Mitt Romney's victory in Florida. Take a look.